Hello friends, welcome to this week's nursery tour. We have got some fantastic plants that are coming into all of their glory. Here we are, mid-late June here in North Carolina. It has been unseasonably warm, so our hot weather loving plants have really popped out and are looking fantastic. Exhibit A right here. This is the new Quickfire Fab hydrangea from Proven Winners. It is looking spectacular right now. If you know Quickfire, we have Quickfire, excuse me, and then Little Quickfire. So Quickfire Fab is the new addition to the line. It's kind of the middle between a Quickfire and a Little Quickfire as far as size-wise. And it's comparable, if you're familiar with the Limelight Prime, it would be the Quickfire version of that. Gorgeous, beautiful, creamy white blooms that are flushing out this time of year. It is going to be a panicle hydrangea, which is fantastic. So that means that it is sun loving, can do sun to part shade. So I would say at a minimum, it needs 5 hours of direct sunlight. It can do all day. It is hardy in zones 3 to 8. And this one is wonderful because it'll get 6 to 8 feet tall, but only 5 to 6 feet wide. If you're looking to do a hedge of hydrangeas, this would be a great option to do it because it does get more tall than wide. You put them in mass like this and it is going to be stunning. The Quickfires and the Little Quickfires, the Quickfire Fabs, will turn a nice rosy pink for us even here in the South. I know sometimes with the panicles it can be kind of tricky because the panicles need the cool nights to get that pink color, and yeah, if you're in the South, our nights do not get cool until later in the season. So the Quickfire Fab will turn that pink, and it is one of the first panicles to be blooming. So if you're looking for that big, huge shot of color earlier in the season, this is it. Because if you look right beside of me, this is Limelight Prime, which is a fantastic hydrangea. I love this thing. I have it in my garden, but you see it's just now budding out. So if you're looking to have continuous color in your garden, you are going to want to do a variety of plants. So for me personally, my Incrediballs, which is right here, this is the improved Annabelle version. So it's that classic mop head, gorgeous creamy white blooms that stay a white. These are my first ones to bloom. Then you've got the Quickfire Fab, and then we can come into like the Limelight season, right? So when you're planting and thinking about your garden, plant different varieties. That way you have that beautiful continuous show of color. And speaking about a show of color, the butterfly bushes are really coming into their own right now. They are doing great. Remember, we have talked about this before. The Miss series, like this is Miss Pearl. We have right behind Jerry is Miss Violet. So this is a gorgeous, look at these blooms on these suckers. Huge. I mean, that's probably close to a foot long, just starting to bud out. Will get nice and full, and of course that gorgeous violet colored, nice purple that our pollinators love, especially the bees. They love these colors. So your Miss series will be in that 4 to 6-ish foot range. So they're going to give you a nice bigger presence as opposed to like the Pugsters, which we have here. So these are Pugster Blue and Pugster Blue, Amethyst and Blue. Sometimes when they're in the bud stage, they look the same, are nice and short. So kind of that 2 to 3 foot height range, which is great. Again, variation. Where in the garden do you need? In the back of your garden, do you need something tall? Fantastic one is the Miss. Up close personal in a container, Pugster is doing wonderful. And these are continuous bloomers, so they will go all season long. More of the big summer color to get you through the season are the summerific Perennial Hibiscus. We've talked about these for several years now because they are just such amazing plants. These are considered a perennial as opposed to a shrub because they will die completely back in the wintertime, and you cut them down and they come back from new growth. Sometimes we think of them as a shrub because they're so large and make a gorgeous presence in our garden, but they're technically considered a perennial. For example, this is Holy Grail. Holy Grail has really nice, deep, dark foliage. The more sun it gets, the deeper it gets. But Holy Grail will do these huge dinner plate size, bright red blooms. And these are perennial. So they will go for years and years and years. They love the hot weather. So sometimes people will think that they didn't make it through the winter. But they're like the last thing that come up in your garden. So you got to wait for it to get hot, and then they pop out, and then they like grow right before your very eyes. So they come in all sorts of shapes and colors. Some of them are tall and wide, some of them are shorter and skinnier. It really just depends on your color. So there's reds and there's pinks and there's whites, all sorts of fun interest in your garden that's going to give you lots of great color in the summer months, because this is the time when we're outside. If it's too hot, you're looking out your window, you want to see something beautiful. All of these shrubs that we've talked about are going to be wonderful for that. And then of course you can tell that the Limelight standards are getting ready to just pop in color. These are Limelight hydrangeas that have been trained into a tree form. So you can see here how we have it displayed at the nursery is that you can put your Limelight tree in a bed, and whether it's the corner of your house or the middle of a flower bed, really versatile as far as like where you can put it, because it's not going to get as a normal size as a tree. It's going to kind of stay in that at the mature size, 8 foot wide, 8 foot tall rather, size. So then you can come in underneath it and plant all around it. So you can put annuals and perennials and shrubs underneath it, and then you have this gorgeous, massive like plant that has all of these beautiful white blooms on it. So we've got those available here as well. And then I will tell you too, before we leave this shrub lot area, that during the summer season, what we are going to be doing is every weekend, every Friday and Saturday, we are going to be offering a shrub special. So we're going to be highlighting a shrub for the weekend, and we will have that specially priced. So they will be 3-gallon containers for $29.99. This past weekend, what we were doing is the Quickfire Fab Hydrangeas. So when you come to the nursery, we will, of course, obviously on social media, we will promote what the shrub of the week is, but they will be on the pergola so you can come and shop. So it is that weekend only, so you have to have a little bit of an urgency to come. But we're going to be highlighting different shrubs throughout the rest of the summer season and into fall, and also be looking on social media because we're going to be running some specials on our annuals. It's going to help you because you get a price break on your annuals, and it's going to help us because we can get them out of our garden and into your garden where they can grow, bloom, and thrive and be very happy. So we'll have all of that information on our social media outlets. Of course, check out Facebook, Instagram, all of those good normal outlets that we can talk about. So we're going to be running those specials. So if you're planning on coming to the nursery this summer, make sure that you're looking at that. Now, let's go on over here let's pop into the greenhouse right quick because lots of flower power over there. Like one of the specials that we're going to be running throughout the rest of the season are our lantanas. So we have gallon size lantanas that we're going to be, all the gallons are going to be $5. So like the gallon lantanas are $5. This year, for whatever reason, we just have a ton of lantana in gallon size containers. So yeah, we want to get these into your garden and out of our hands. But like this one is the Luscious Berry Blend. But that is an absolutely stunning plant for $5. Of course, lantanas do love the sun. They are huge pollinator attractors. So if you're looking to bring in the bees and the butterflies to your garden, lantana is wonderful. And they will obviously come in lots of different colors. And they're going to be different sizes, but a nice kind of a mounded, like this one gets 20 to 30 inches tall and wide. And it is not too late to plant this stuff. It is not. You can get it out there, do it the proper way, water your hole, plant them, look at them for a couple of days, and they should be absolutely fine, because I know I still have tons of gardening projects going on, so I am planting throughout, even all this heat. I've got it going on. The citron is one of our favorites. It is brand new this year. A very nice, soft yellow. It is gorgeous. So, coming on in, of course, we still have caladiums. So come get your caladiums. Again, these plants love the heat and humidity. They thrive in this kind of weather. This is that absolutely stunning lemon blush, which is a more shade tolerant caladium. So there are caladiums that like the sun or the shade or both. So we have a nice wide variety, so you can come and get them. I have been planting caladiums like crazy this week. Because they're nice and full, they're beautiful, and again, they can handle all of these high temperatures and our humidity that is like out the roof, and our dew point is like crazy high. These things love it. They do great in your landscape. They do great in containers. They make a stunning hanging basket. So maybe if something happened to your hanging basket one weekend while you were away and you're now looking for something that gives lots of color, that's kind of low maintenance, caladiums. All you gotta do is put a couple of caladiums in a hanging basket, and man, it is absolutely gorgeous, wonderful. But just like, look at this. This particular one is Rose Glow. Beautiful pink with that nice big fat green edge on it. Wonderful color, and it is sun to shade. Does really, really nicely. We're gonna move on out here. I'm moving too fast for Jerry this morning. Because I want to show you too some perennials that are blooming, and we refreshed the pergola here at the nursery with some really nice fresh crop of hanging baskets. So again, maybe you went to the beach one weekend and you either had somebody take care of your hanging baskets, or you forgot, or the irrigation failed, or whatever the case may be. It all happens to all of us. We have got beautiful hanging baskets ready to come home with you. Like I said, this is a fresh crop, absolutely gorgeous. So this is Living on the Edge. Yep. Living on the Edge. So it's got the Royal Velvet Petunia, the really red, and then I want to say Dreamsicle maybe is in there. There's a third color in there. So they are looking great. And then the ones that are solid green, that is Medusa hanging basket, sweet potato vine. So Medusa sweet potato vine makes a really fun hanging basket because it gets nice and full, it will spill over, and it's definitely much more shade tolerant. So even if you have a spot that maybe only gets a couple of hours of sun and it won't handle petunias, can't really thrive there, the Medusa will do great. I have been racking my brain on trying to figure out where in the world I can hang a Medusa hanging basket, because I just love them so much. I just think they are spectacular. So we've got hanging baskets for you, and then right here at Jerry's feet, we have got a couple of absolutely gorgeous perennials that are doing really well right now. This is their kind of their prime time. This is the Amazing Daisies Marshmallow Shasta Daisy. Like, look at that fun Shasta Daisy. Shasta daisies now come in all sorts of colors and shapes and petal types. Really great. You can tell why it's called marshmallow, because it has that nice big huge fat flower on it. It will get to be about 20 inches tall, and these are going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9. My Amazing Daisies are doing wonderful in the garden. They do like it a little bit more on the dry side than the wet. But doing really well. And then this new Echinacea, this is the And to put my hand there for a size comparison, the blooms on this thing are absolutely huge. I mean, massive. Beautiful, kind of a soft orange color. So if you're not one that likes the big bold colors, then Once in a Melon I think will really suit you, because you still have that beautiful kind of orange shade, but it's not like screaming in your face orange, if that makes any kind of sense. And these are going to be hardy in zones 4 to 8, and then about 2 feet tall. And of course, as the season goes on and as the years go on, it gets nice and wider. So everybody's doing great here. The Mangaves are doing really nicely. They are loving these warm temperatures and doing great. Come here, Jerry. So the Mangaves are doing fantastic. They are here. We have all those different varieties. And then again, if you're looking to do a new container, or you need to refresh, or the landscape, we have the Safari. These, the Safari series. These are the South African phlox. Yes. So this is Safari Dawn, which is a light kind of a purple color, really fun. And then there is another one, I think we have Safari Sky, I think. Anyway, so they come in all these different colors. Love the heat and humidity. They do really well in this heat. Pentas and more petunias, all sorts of great things. Let's move on over here for a second. So I will tell you that we had a little incident with the wheelbarrow in these high temperatures. It got neglected and didn't get watered, so it took a hit. It took a hit pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to come in here and clean out some, trim back my salvia. The salvia will be fine. I just need to come in here and deadhead. I've got new flushes on it. It looks like I lost one of my ageratums. So if that happens to you, y'all, it happens to the best of us. You go away on a trip, you go on vacation, or life happens and you just forget to water a container or a plant. If you can catch it in time, then you're gonna probably still have some damage like I do, but get in there, deadhead. And when I say deadhead, what I mean is, come in here, Jer, so we have this bloom stalk, right, of this salvia. If you can come in here, right, you see where those 2 little sets of leaves are? Come in and take your clippers and clip them right here. So we wanna take this off. That way, this and this will come into a branch and it'll get nice and thick and full. So again, like right here, I come in and I clip it just like that. It cleans up the plant, and it actually helps the plant get nice and thick and happy, and will really come back full with lots of blooms on it and do wonderful. The Alyssum didn't care. She was like, man, I got my water and I'm happy and I'm doing good. If you lose a plant in here, you can take it out, you can substitute something else and put it in there. It's okay. Trim back, fertilize, make sure it's well watered, and all will be well. All right, we're gonna move on over here because we still have lots of other fun things to show you. For example, the Gnaphofia. If you've never heard of what Gnaphofia is, you do know Gnaphofia, you just don't know it by its name. Red hot poker. So here we have, I'm trying to remember now which one, oh gosh, the tag's out of it. Which one is this? I'll put the name up on the screen. So this is part of the Pyromania series. All right, Jerry, I want you to get this right quick. Oh shoot, darn. It was a sweet little honeybee right here, and she had her body all the way up into the flower petal. But red hot pokers, fantastic pollinator attractor. If you can see that little honeybee, she's hopefully not too mad at me for disturbing her. But a fantastic pollinator attractor, will give you lots of beautiful color throughout the season. So they're continuous bloomers. Red hot pokers traditionally would get really tall and really floppy. These are nice and strong and sturdy, very upright, and will not flop over. So the whole Pyromania series, we've got oranges, we've got reds, we've got yellows, fantastic plants. And for us, the foliage is an evergreen. So even in the wintertime, you get gorgeous structure in your garden. Oregano. Who knew that oregano could be such a great plant? This is Drops of Jupiter. Now, oregano, obviously, we use typically as a culinary herb, right? That you use it to cook with. This is meant more for an ornamental in your garden. So it has a nice, really bright green color. It is hardy in zones 4 to 9. You want to space them about 3 feet apart because they will get a nice size to them, and they will get 2 feet tall with their bloom spikes. So it is just that chartreuse yellow leaves and then the really pretty pink mauve flowers that come later in the season. So it's going to be one of those that will give you continuous blooms in your garden later on in the season. This is new, relatively new to the market. I'm not sure if this is the first year. I don't have any in my garden yet. I need to add some of these because, again, really fun, bright color, and give me that late summer blooms on it will be really fun. So we have those Drops of Jupiter available here. Let's see. If you were looking again to attract pollinators, we've got a couple more perennials that I want to show you. Of course, the Sweet Romance Lavender from Proven Winners. This is a continuous bloomer. Beautiful lavender on it. It smells amazing. It is a fantastic plant. Of course, we all love lavender. If you have clay soil that is typically kind of wet, you might want to put it in a container. They do really well in containers because they can drain better. Just make sure that you buy a really high quality potting soil that drains well. So lavender can go in there. Look at these sedums. Oh my goodness. So this is Back in Black. Look at that. See if we can get the color on that. So this is a perennial sedum, Back in Black. Gets nice black hues to it. It is going to be a full sun plant. This is one of those plants that hates to be fertilized, so you really don't even want to use biotone on it. Get it out there in your garden, full sun, with those hot, dry conditions, and it will do fall blooms again. So these perennial sedums will typically bloom later on in the season. Lots of great color. This does, let's see, okay, flowers bloom red centers and cream petals. Really fun color, hardy in zones 3 to 9. So extremely adaptable, extremely versatile in your garden. Sedums are just a great kind of season extender to put out there for you. And then, of course, we've got catmint and the Russian sage. Like, look at this. And it smells just heavenly. So this is the Denim and Lace Russian sage, which is typically is kind of deer resistant because it has that great minty smell to it. It almost has like a rosemary smell. Beautiful, true blue flowers on it. It's going to be full sun. Again, likes it hot, likes it dry. Gorgeous plant, nice and height to it, and gets really full. Kind of have that silvery green foliage to it, so it'll be something fun and different. So that is a great one. We have all sorts of options for those pollinator plants. And then we're going to wrap up today, and I just want to show you an update on the aquapots. We got a little bit of rain and water, so the jazzberries are a little, I mean, they look great, but give them a couple hours and the sun gets on them and they really pop up. But these suckers, like, look at, honeybee, like, look at these babies, right? They are huge. They are gorgeous. So we have Prince Tut grass, which is an annual grass. It is the annual of the year, rather. So it is loving this aquapot. It will continue to grow, get nice and big. We have the new introduction for next year. This is Purple Queen. I believe one of our viewers said that her mom, this is an old plant, so it's not a new plant, but it's just new to the Proven Winners line coming next year. Her mom called it, I think it was Moses in a boat, because it looks like with a little tiny purple flower right here, and the way that the leaves are shaped like baby Moses in the boat. So Moses in the boat. It gets really kind of wide and tall, and it's filling in. Got those. my white sun patience. So I have to kind of come in here right now and keep the jazzberries a little trimmed back so that my sun patience have time to grow. And then of course the Super Petunia Vista Jazzberry. That is the new introduction this year that is available on the market. I mean, yeah. So they are certainly making a presence and just going to continue to grow. Keep the aqua pot filled every couple of weeks that we do the water soluble fertilizer from Proven Winners. And man, they are some happy plants. So if you're planning on coming to see Creekside, make sure that you check out our website, our social media outlets for any kind of specials that are running. I know this week, because of those high temperatures, we had to close a couple of days early. You got to remember, here in North Carolina, yes, it may not be as, the temperature may not be as crazy hot as say out west, but our humidity and our dew point are out the roof, and there's no air conditioning here. So we've got to take care of our people here. So make sure you, before you come, check our hours. They will be updated on all the places. But we look forward to seeing you. Of course, if you're traveling, come on by to Creekside. We would love to see you, meet you, hear your story, and just get to know you a little bit better. But as always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends. Hello, friends. Welcome to this week's nursery.
The nurseries. Do you need a Hershey?
I need another cup of coffee.